Hello and welcome to Oh When the Town, and here's what's coming up today. Luton head to Bournemouth on the south coast and managed to come away with 3 points. It was a hard-fought victory. Today, we discuss that in more detail. Was it a red card for Lerma? It has been overturned, but we discuss everything to do with that goal and that red card. Dewsbury Hall, our best ever loan signing, yes or no? That's what we want to find out today. And have we caught feelings for him yet? And also Karleigh Osborne, Brentford's women's manager and former professional footballer, joins us on the podcast to look ahead of the Brentford game and a bit about Peter Chioso. A bit of a relationship there. We'll find out more later in the podcast. I'm joined tonight by Dave, Batara and Steve on Zoom. How are we, boys?
Evening.
Good evening.
Oh, how are we? Good?
Who's buzzing after Saturday then?
We're all buzzing, aren't we?
Game, wasn't it?
We're all buzzing, aren't we? Let's be honest. After that absolutely woeful performance against Queen's Park Rangers, we didn't expect much, and wow, did we not get a great result Saturday.
I think that last week just defines being a Luton fan, doesn't it? You don't turn up at home to QPR, who've won 4 games all season, and then you go to Bournemouth. We had a little bit of help from the referee, I guess you could say, but, you know, we've come away with 3 points, which anyone would have taken a point after at Bournemouth, wouldn't you? You would have taken a point, but to come away with 3, unreal.
I think
never too high, never too low, I suppose.
Exactly, as a wise man once said. Bataro?
It was Steve. Sorry. Sorry.
What are you making of it? The game Saturday, just unreal, wasn't it?
You know what I mean? With all this lockdown going on, it just gives you an excuse to celebrate till 6 a.m. So yeah, it's brilliant.
Love it.
I think off the back of the disappointment of the game against QPR, and we just expected that we would get trolleyed, totally, absolutely blasted away. We'd lose 4-5-0, and we turned up and we played really well. So I'm pleased.
Sorry, mate.
Sorry, mate. Sorry, I was just going to say, before we get into the Bournemouth game in more detail, Luton player Jake Peck is currently raising money for a really good cause. Dave, you know Jake quite well, don't you?
Yeah, I know Jake. We met just when he turned 17. I was helping him learning to drive. Passed first time, by the way. 0 faults. Well done, Jake. And his dad passed away with cancer. He's doing a walk for cancer research. If you can go and support him, that'd be really, really good. You can follow him on Twitter, or you can follow his GoFundMe page. I'm sure we can put something up for that. He's currently got about $2,000 raised. You know, help him push it on if you can. If you can spare a 5 or a 10, please go and sponsor him. It's a really good cause.
And it's nice that our sponsors, DLA Driving School, have committed quite a nice sum of money towards it, haven't they?
Yeah, I mean, DLA sponsored Jake's shirt anyway, and you know, we wanted to support him as well, so that's good.
And then let's get into the Bournemouth game then. 1-0 win. One change from the QPR defeat. Berry came in for Lualawa. Wasn't too fussed about that change, really. Were you guys happy with that starting 11? Batara, I think you texted me saying you weren't that happy.
No, I weren't initially, but look, why does it matter what I think now, eh? But no, I mean...
It doesn't.
I mean, like I say, one change in that QPR game, to be honest, I was expecting at least 4 or 5, because I thought the majority of the squad were absolute shite, without being rude. But there's a couple of players in there, I can't work out why they're still in there, but look, we'll get into that. I'm sure you know one of them who I'm on about.
Yeah. It was an all right start from Luton, wasn't it? But, you know, that Bournemouth, you can just tell the type of team they are. They've got them attacking fullbacks. Obviously, we know everything about Jack Stacey. Josh King arguably could still be playing in the Premier League. So I think that No, go for it, Steve.
Saying Josh King, most of that starting 11 should still be in the Premier League, in my opinion. I think that's a class team. Like, I know, Luke, you messaged me when the teams were announced, and you said, look at the state of that Bournemouth team.
Yeah.
That is a very good win from us, I must say. It was to get a result against that is good.
It is, and for a championship side, they are on paper, if not, they're up there, if not the best in the league, aren't they?
Oh, 100%.
I think because they were an ex-Premiership side, they still got Premiership players. They're worth multi-millions. Okay, sorry. Yeah, every time I say Premiership, you know, that just shows how old I am. Because of that, you expect with their money that they were going to be fantastic. And you know what? We held our own. We did well, despite the red card.
That the bloke Lerma. Apparently, it's 30 million euros. Did it cost him or something?
Yeah,
I saw somewhere online over the weekend.
And then you got like Solanke, who's like 20 mil in that starting 11.
Exactly.
And I don't even know. That's the only two I really know. And you think, what? That's 50 mil already.
Yeah.
Stacey was 4 from us.
Yeah, look how good Brooks is as well.
Mate, he looked good. He looked good.
He was linked to big teams in the summer as well, wasn't he, Brooks?
And rightly so as well. He's a brilliant player. But it's mad. It's mad to think we've done Bournemouth and we've done Norwich now. Who else?
Done Norwich twice as well. We've got 4 points from Bournemouth, beating Norwich in the cup in the league. It's not bad.
It'd be nice to be that other relegated team, though, wouldn't it?
Would be, mate. Hopefully in April. Before we go into the red card discussion, there was one small chance for Bournemouth. And Batara, do you see this when Berry back-headed it towards Sluga? And you just think, what on earth are you doing? I think I screamed at the Mac. I was like, what are you doing? Got away with it, though.
Yeah, I went dumb for about 5 seconds at that point until Sluga caught it. I went, okay, then, fuck me, I'm still alive. But yeah, it weren't great, was it? You thought straight away, shit, we're going to keep doing that and playing, well, like I say, silly fucking whatever you want to call it. Then you've got no hope. But, we pulled it together. They got on with it. They put in a shift. And can we just say as well, it's not like we scraped our win either, I don't feel.
No.
I genuinely feel we had all the chances. Well, not all the chances, but the majority of the chances. I thought we were brilliant.
I'd agree.
4 or 5 up by the 60th minute, just after half time.
Well, you could say we were helped massively by this red card for Jefferson Lerma. And this just caused outrage on social media, and we kind of caused a bit of outrage as well. And we got to talk about producer Jacob here, because he thought it was a red card, and he said it gets worse every time he sees it. And he was happy to tweet it out, but no one seemed to agree with him. I personally thought it was a red card. It did seem to be quite split, and a lot of Luton fans were like, it's never a red card. It's not a red card. Berry's fouled him. Berry's played a part in that. Maybe we just go through one by one. Dave, what was your initial reaction with that red card? Is it a red card? Is it not?
I think there was no intent, but you don't have to have intent. You have to be reckless or dangerous. And if you compare it to, was it Matty Pearson getting sent off for his overhead kick? He doesn't know who's behind him, but he still got sent off for it. So for me, send him off. Clearly, the rulers don't agree because they've rescinded it. But at the time, I wanted him to go. I was quite happy he went. And do you know what? Our player got injured. Our player got substituted. So the damage was done. The damage was done. So they talk about the bad luck of their player getting sent off. Well, bloody hell, you made one of ours and leave the field, And we had to make a substitution we didn't want to make at that point. So, red. And I'm glad it was a red. And if it's been rescinded, oh well, never mind.
Batara, what did you think?
Well, firstly, I'd like to say that overall, looking back on it, maybe, some people might look at it and say it's harsh. For me, at the time, I was screaming for a red card straight away. I think I put in the chat to you boys, I think I said, oh, fuck me, look at that. He's assaulted him there. You can get a prison for that. And then, but no, I mean, at the end of the day, he has endangered his opponent. So is that not the letter of the law? You have to go if you're putting your, in danger? Because for me, that was danger. That was dangerous.
Well, I think the evidence is on Tom Lockyer's face. I think if you're bleeding from the face and you have to be taken off due to concussion things, or I think Nathan Jones said something about his vision with the blood and stuff. For me, I think that's enough. And then people's argument will be, well, Luke Berry backed into Lerma, but I feel like that's irrelevant. It could have been a foul, but then we've seen this season, and I know this doesn't really back my argument up because there wasn't a red card, but in that Merseyside derby when Pickford injured Van Dijk, and they've now come out and they said Pickford should have been sent off for that. And that was after an offside had happened. So it's not like Berry backing into him, shouldn't mean it's a red card. It's still happened. It's still endangering an opponent, I feel.
Reckless. He's reckless at the end of the day.
Check out.
To be honest, I don't think that, sorry, Dave, can I just say, I don't think that, maybe that slightly will knock, knocked him slightly off balance, but I don't think it was enough to, he's jumped. He's not looked where his hand's already up.
He's got history, mate. He's got history of doing this.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, have a look it up. Look up the stats. He's got history. Clearly, the Football League now believe it wasn't a red, but at the time, 100% for me, it was a red at the time.
And the thing is, if it was us, it was the other way around. We might have,
because
it might be quite a different opinion, but I think, is it the right decision to overturn it? Maybe not. Maybe. Who
do you
knows?
know, Bataro, do you care?
Where does it stop? Where does it stop though? Where does this ruling or whatever? Where does this law like come into it? I mean, it seems to me like it's different every time something happens. You can never tell what's black and what's white. Do you know what I mean?
Well, the Bournemouth authority said if they was in the Premier League and they was playing us, which would have been great if it was in the Premier League. Thank you, I got it right that time. And VAR would have not let him go. I don't know. I tend to disagree. He really swung his arm. You know, whether he lost his balance, he made contact. It was reckless. And for me, it's the same. If you're doing an overhead kick, you're going for a football to score a goal, or whatever. You don't know who's behind you. Make contact. You get sent off. Where's the difference? Where's the difference?
Boys? Quick question as well. When you're jumping, right, and you're off balance in midair, do your arms go down and ready to fall? Instead of your arms just going like rounded? Because for me, it looked like a massive swing as well. It's a big swing.
Yeah, I've seen a few people have said that with maybe a little bit of intent. I don't know. I think it's harsh. I do feel like it was harsh, but I feel like it's correct, and I feel like he's just unfortunate that Berry's happened to like knock him. Steve, what did you think?
I feel like it was reckless. Like I know me and you, Luke, were chatting about it on Saturday with a QPR friend of ours, and he was in the opinion it wasn't a red card. But then we compared it to the Josh Silva one against Tottenham. We felt like that wasn't intentional, but that was reckless, and that was
endangering.
We feel that was excessive, and I feel like this Lerma one was the same. This was excessive. You like you say, you saw the damage on Lockyer's face. It's not just a light slap. He must have hit him with some force, and.
The elbows.
Yeah, I feel like I'm in the same. I think it was a red card.
You generally can see why the referee gave that at the time, and then with the appeal going on and the red card being rescinded, they don't agree with the referee's opinion. So everything we've said, no one agrees with at the EFL. However, at the time, in the speed that you saw it and the danger it put our player in, send him off.
Yeah.
Send him off every time.
If you slow motion it down right a little bit as well. Sorry, Steve, I'm not trying to interfere, mate. But if you slow motion it, he catches him with the forearm first, like the bottom half is, do you know what I mean, near his wrist. He catches him there first, and he slaps him after. There's two movements in there. You watch it back, it's two movements. I'm telling you now.
We'll give it a watch back, mate. There was loads of disagreements and agreements, and look, at the end of the day, it's irrelevant now. We got it happened. It's been rescinded. Nothing can change, but I think it's just nice to have a little discussion about what we feel is a red, and this is what we love football for, isn't it? Is the different opinions. But that did help us out, the red card, and it was important we got to half time at 0-0, wasn't it? After that, because if we would have conceded one or two in them, 20 minutes.
I think when their player went off, they played better for a while.
Yeah,
and I was worried that they'd get that first goal and then we'd be chasing the game. So I think it spurred them on.
And then we came out after half time. We looked really strong, didn't we? We had three major chances. Ray had an opportunity at the back post. I think it was cleared off the line, and then that was just inches wide.
Begovic had a worldly couple of minutes, didn't he?
Yeah.
That corner.
Yeah. He kept out Dewsbury Hall and Berry, I think it was, from close range.
Yeah, Berry's
but we could have been 3-0 up, instantly.
Still think Berry should have scored though.
Yeah, it's proper close range, isn't it?
Anywhere but at the kick. Don't get it wrong. It's good reaction from the goalkeeper. Well, you can't be too harsh, but he has to score. I mean, you're gonna. Well, I'll say we're gonna stay up. Well, don't get it wrong. That sounds a bit silly now. We're in the position we're in, but there are big chances there. You have to score those.
Yeah,
that's a fine margin between sort of success and failure. Sometimes, you know what I mean, and you have to take them. And sometimes we, miss a lot of those chances. But look, you can't moan about it. It's got to be a positive one, lads, isn't it? So.
100%. And you're talking about big chances. Bournemouth's biggest chance of the game was when Solanke got played through on that left-hand side. Low, beat Sluga, and Potts out of nowhere just comes back and manages to toe punt it wide. But I even thought he'd punted it into his own net. I was like, there's no way he's getting to it. And suddenly out of nowhere, Potts is there to save the day.
Yeah, I didn't see him, to be honest, coming. I was too focused on the ball going past Sluga. I thought, oh, shit, that's in. And before you know it, I was just going, shit, hang on a minute, where did he come from? It's not a Superman, he just flew out of nowhere.
He ran a long way to get that ball.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you watch it back on the replay, he does run a long way. His position was perfect as well. Oh, mate, do you know what? I've been really impressed with Potts.
He slotted in at centre-half, didn't he?
Yeah, I think he's a better centre-back than he is left-back, what I've seen of him.
Do you think that's because he's quite good in the air?
Yeah, it's got to be in it. He's not scared either.
I like it. And then the big goal came.
Hey.
And it comes from this guy who just seems to be getting better in every single game. His value's going up game by game. Luton fans are running out of words to describe him. Kieran Dewsbury Hall, what a goal it was as well. Batara, you pointed out great play from Cornick as well to get this ball to Dewsbury Hall and then curls it in.
Yeah, because you had a little moan about Cornick, didn't you, at one point?
I did have a little moan, to be fair.
You like to have a moan about Cornick, I like to have a moan about Pelly. So it's like 10 minutes back and forth, but with me and you. But no, I mean, it was brilliant. It was like, do you know what I mean? He can do. If he's a Cornick, I mean, he probably should have scored earlier on, or maybe at the target, or whatever. But do you know what? And he pulls out a little. It was great vision, to be honest. It was. Because you watch him, he holds it. You think, sometimes you think with Cornick, you've held it too long, but perfect release time. And like you said, Dewsbury Hall, mate, the guy is God, isn't he, really? He's
that one player that he gets into that position and you just have confidence in him he's like making that himself, that chance himself, isn't he? Because he gets that ball and he turns, opens up his body and then executes it. And he did that against Bristol City in that last home game we won. And you just think like, he's just got that quality, hasn't he?
Yeah. He's strong on both feet as well, isn't he? Like that shot from the corner, that was with his right foot, I believe.
Yeah.
And then he's finished out of his left foot, and he's just good on both feet, isn't he, as well?
And it just makes you wish he was us permanently, doesn't it? It just makes you wish he was our player that you discovered and he was moving on. It's a delight to see him play. And when he gets the ball, he's in control. He has good vision. He plays it well. He's strong. And he's very young. And he's developing with us. And that's brilliant. Because you know what? Maybe when he goes back, we'll get another one from them. You know?
Well, yeah, I hope.
You know,
sorry, Dave, you still speak. Sorry, mate. Sorry.
No, go for it.
No, I was just saying, I was watching the Football League show earlier as well. And according to them, the only reason that we've still got Dewsbury Hall is because Leicester missed the deadline or something.
I never saw
it earlier. But yeah, they missed that and they went to recording because apparently they've got Dennis Pratt, or whatever his name is, injured.
Yeah, I read that it's now past the recall date. And producer Jacob texted me that the other day and I was like, I just kept replying. I was like, don't believe it. I was like, until this like window's done or whatever, I was like, I don't believe it. But you know, he is arguably, and we put this out on social media today because we wanted to have a little focus on Dewsbury Hall. Is he the best loan signing we've ever had? Like quality-wise from a player, is he the highest quality loan player we've had? Because I'd say in our era, like...
Yeah, in our lifetime.
Stephen Bataro, so. And when we started watching in like League One days, he arguably probably is the best quality player we've had at the club.
Yeah, I'd say so. I've seen.
In our time, he has, isn't he? In our lifetime.
Dave, what would you say?
I'm enjoying watching Dewsbury Hall right now. And I think you'll find that every player that comes to the club, you want them to do the best. So is he the best at the moment, given his Premier League quality? Probably. But there have been other impact players that have joined us and have done well. So it's hard to say, is he ultimately the best? What do you measure success on? His skills, his goal scoring abilities, or
impact on that the team as well.
Yeah, I mean, you know, there'll be players that have come in for a very short time and done very well. There's been players that have been here for a long time on loan and not done so well. Dewsbury Hall plays, he turns up every week and he plays a blinder every week. You can forgive him a little bit of a, you know, if he has a bit of a slow game, but he's been brilliant.
And he will Premier League player as well.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. When I was in a work call earlier and they were talking about Luton on Wednesday and the game, and they were taking the mick out of me because of how much I mentioned Dewsbury Hall to them and how much I'm saying like this guy's unreal, and they were taking the mick a little, and I basically just said like they asked me like who would you compare him to, and I just feel like I said he's kind of a bit like David Silva with his feet, the way he like gets the ball and he does little turns and he can like shift the ball either way, and then he's almost got a bit of like drive in him, hasn't he? Just to take the ball from defence to attack, and I just feel like he's got a bit of everything, hasn't he?
Saying that, I would have compared him to Iniesta well, obviously not as good as Iniesta, but
that type of
like
player.
Yeah, that type of player.
Mate, he breezes past as well, isn't he? Breezes past him. Takes that one touch to the left or one touch to the right and goes the other way. It's just like, oh mate, look at that. We start off attack. He's box to box. The guy's unreal, mate. He really is. But we know that one day we're going to have to say bye-bye, so...
I think every Luton fan is just ready for that, though, aren't they? That they know that How much is he worth? You think, how much would he be worth right now? 20 mil at least?
It's hard to say. He will definitely be a Leicester first team player.
Yeah.
Definitely. 100%
Luke,
be
you
there.
got him on the back of your shirt, didn't you?
I did. I got a little drunk on Saturday night and I was like, you know what? I'm going to buy a Luton away shirt with Dewsbury Hall on the back. Why not? Another question we put out about him today was, have you caught feelings for him yet, boys? Have you? Because I have. Have you?
We're getting there. We're going the right way.
Still in the dating process, are you, Steve?
Do you know what? I'm obviously too old for this conversation. The only name you put on your shirt is your own, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, but have you caught feelings for Dewsbury Hall?
No.
No? Well, I definitely have. But Taro definitely has as well. Look at that face.
I love him, but I can't because he's not a player, mate.
No,
so.
Because you know what? He'll break your heart because he has to go back. So stop it, you two. Stop it. Get a room. Get a room, you two.
Lads, what I'm saying is Sonny Bradley's my man, and you know it. So, yeah.
No, he's off to Preston, apparently, isn't he?
No, he's not. He's not going anywhere.
We'll get into the transfer chat in a little.
Steve.
We'll get into the transfer chat in a little bit. This is what you guys said about Dewsbury Hall on social media today. Mohammed said he is up there, but if you're talking about impact, how is the name of Rowan Vine not in this conversation of impact as a loan signing? Which I guess he's got a very good point in. Vine comes in and helps us win promotion, doesn't he? So, yeah, Vine probably up there with impact. Neville says...
Same McSheffrey as well. Sorry, going back to that one. McSheffrey.
Someone did say McSheffrey, actually. I don't think we put it down here, but we did see that name.
Well, you have, if you read Neville's.
Oh, okay, Neville. Literally, I was about to read Neville's. Top three for me are Alan, McSheffrey and KDH. Each did something different for the club. This boy's all-round contribution, though, is something else, and I have serious feels for him. Neville, we are feeling your pain.
Rory Allen.
Or love.
Rory Allen, 8 games, 6 goals.
Who was he on loan from? Enlighten us, for us younger generation.
Oh, don't ask me that question. Tottenham. He was on loan from Tottenham, I believe.
Okay. Anthony says, Dewsbury Hall is certainly the best loan signing since we have got back in the Football League. Gutted that it looks unlikely that he won't get to play in front of a full house. Best ever loan signing for me has to be Rory Allen, is what you've just said, Dave.
Glory, Rory Allen.
Richard said, the answer to this question will always be Rory Allen unless Dewsbury Hall drags us into the playoffs or the cup final. This Rory Allen must have been pretty special. 6
goals, 8 games. Or 8, what did I just say? 8 games, 6 goals. That's it, yeah. He came on. He was an impact player. I'll tell you what he did. He scored some crucial goals for us. Brilliant. Yeah, and he'd come on, he'd score. Richard,
question is, if Dewsbury Hall fires Luton into the Championship playoffs...
He'll be the best ever.
Will he be the best ever?
Yeah.
Oh, he will. We'll be
especially scores the winning goal.
Imagine Dewsbury Hall scores the winning goal in the final against Watford in the last minute.
No. Can we stop there? Stop there.
Every training week.
Imagine
I don't think.
1 week.
If we had to play that bunch of, I can't. I don't know that I could last the whole 90 minutes in a cup final against them. I really couldn't.
Liam says, the guy's different gravy. He's probably the best loan signing we've had in my era in terms of quality. You can see why Leicester fans love him and wanted him in their Europa League squad this season. 100% caught feelings for him and will follow his career every step of the way after the loan is done with us.
Oh, I don't know about that. I'll probably, once he goes back, I won't really care too much.
Oh, Steve. That's so horrible.
That's harsh. What I would say...
You're definitely in the dating process still, aren't you, mate?
For me, the biggest disappointment is he's not played in front of a full house, and then he'd realise what us fans think of him. You know, a full house at the Kenny, singing his name out, it would have been brilliant for him and for us. To say, well done.
I'm just glad I got to see him play, to be honest.
Yeah, right.
And me. And I get to see him again on Wednesday.
Yeah,
just putting it out there. Yeah. Looking ahead then this week, it is another big week. It's a huge week, isn't it? Brentford away on Wednesday night. And then a massive game at the weekend. Chelsea away in the FA Cup. Ooh. I would like to say 2 wins from these next 2. Would you be happy with...
2 wins for the next 2? Yeah, I'll take that all day long.
Easy, boys, easy.
You can't get much better.
Would you be happy with a point against Brentford and not disgrace yourself against Chelsea?
I'd be happy with a point against Brentford and winning against Chelsea. Thanks very much. Look, I said this last week. When the cup draw was on, I said this is probably the best time to play these teams because there are no fans. They might underestimate who you are. I'm not going to say we're going to go and beat Chelsea, but we've got we're going to have a great chance of going there and trying our best. And maybe we just nick a winner. Come on, be positive. Be positive. Nick a winner.
And looking at the transfer window, there's a few rumours flying around at the moment. Apparently, we're after a guy called Twine from Swindon. He scored a banging goal against Ipswich the other day. I don't know if you guys saw that, but
yeah, I saw that.
Seems to be the kind of player we'd like to go get.
Is he a midfielder?
He was on loan to Newport in the beginning bit of the season. But he's gone back to Swindon now.
So
scores goals midfield.
Do we not need someone else up front?
You just know what it's like getting a striker nowadays, don't you? It's just impossible. I think what Cardiff paid £1 million for a Crawley striker who's only scored goals this season. And
oh, really?
Who was that?
I don't know his name, but there's also rumours Plymouth striker's on his way out, who apparently is quite good. But, I don't know. It's
the Jeff card.
Yeah. It's just expensive, isn't it, to get a striker? And some outgoing potential rumours we saw. Sonny Bradley could be on his way to Preston, apparently. Bataro, someone even tweeted saying, bet Bataro's not happy about this.
Nah, it was that bloke that's called quite all shit. It was that bloke that called quite a few things and it happened to be true as well, didn't they?
Would you blame him if he was to go to Preston? Would you see it as a good move for him?
No.
Why?
Good move. Preston is shit, mate.
Sideways.
Such a sideways move, isn't it?
It's not.
Yeah, you're wrong. They'll probably triple his wages and whatever else. But...
Well, yeah, but in that respect, then it's a good move for him, isn't it? It's a good move for Sonny.
I think as a fan, what you forget, it's their job, right?
Yeah, well, that's
it's
what
our
I'm saying.
passion. It's their job.
If you take out the fan thinking of this, for Sonny Bradley, who's getting towards the end of his career, you'd possibly say, is this his last opportunity to go and get double his wage, triple his wage?
Or
this is what I mean.
Even towards the end of his career, I think it's a bit of a stretch. He's not that old.
Hey, he's 27, 28.
Okay,
27?
Maybe that's a bit harsh.
Late 20s, I think.
But he'd probably say he's in his prime now, though, wouldn't you?
Oh, 100%, mate. He's class. Of course, he's in his prime. Everyone, we all know it. But no, what I was going to say was, if Sonny, look, if he wants to go, obviously, was he a Hull boy, isn't he? Obviously, it's a bit of a difference from there to Hull, but. And it's seeing all this stuff about homesick, that doesn't make sense. But what I was going to say was, I really wish to win the lottery now. This would be great because I'd keep him at Luton and I'd pay him more.
Well, but do you actually play the lottery? That'd be the first step.
Oh yeah, mate, Dave, you know how much I gamble. Come on.
Yeah, I wouldn't blame a player for moving if it's for job security. I think what we do, we get sort of attached to players too much as fans because as the only people loyal to the club, and that's proven by how Luton survived all the crap they went through. The only people loyal to the club are the fans, right? There are some players that have been there forever, and Mick Harford I put as a fan, not just a player, a fan. Them sort of people. So that's why you only put your own name on the shirt. That's what, for me, that's how I feel about it. So you don't blame people for moving because if I got offered another chance to do another job and I got double my patch salary, I'd go. I would go. Well, he's not going anywhere, just to put that anywhere.
A couple of weeks to hold on to him. Let's hope he does. You know what? Let's go match Preston. Let's make him top earner at the club. Let's keep him at the club because everyone loves Sonny Bradley, especially Bataro. Let's look at then this Brentford game in more detail. It's happening Wednesday night, Brentford's new stadium. And let's speak to Karleigh Osborne, who's the current Brentford women's manager, former player. Unfortunately for Luton fans, he scored against Luton on that final Football League game away at Brentford. But he's joining us now to chat about everything on Wednesday night. Karleigh, how are you, mate?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you, mate?
I'm good. I'm glad to have you on our Luton podcast today. And we thought you are the perfect guy to give us a bit of an insight into Brentford. It's a big game for Luton, and it's Brentford's first league game of 2021. So what can we expect from Brentford in this first league game of the year?
I think you'll expect a normal Brentford team and performance, to be honest. An exciting, sort of fast attacking team, well organised, with some, real good threat going forward. They're in good form, as Luton will know. So it'll be a good game. I mean, Luton have come off the back of a good win as well, haven't they, from the weekend? So that'll be good for Luton and their confidence. But I think Brentford will be looking to get the 3 points.
Do you think, Karleigh, given COVID and no fans in the stadiums, do you feel there's any home advantage anymore? Because I personally don't think there is. Do you think that might play into our hands? When I say our hands, obviously I mean Luton.
I don't think there is any home advantage much anymore. You know, in those times in a game where, you know, a home team might be putting pressure on the away team and you've got the fans behind you as well. That's almost sometimes could be like another player, can't it? But that doesn't really seem to be having that effect this year. So I think that does probably play into Luton's hands a bit more. And I think it makes the situation better for Luton because they won't have that pressure on the back of them either.
Great.
And with the lack of game time for Brentford, like there's been like 2 games since the turn of year. Is that going to work in favour of Luton, or will Brentford now be really fresh and ready to go, and or will they be like, will they tire quickly because they haven't had these match minutes this year?
I mean, I would think they'd be fresh and ready to go, but you never quite know how it works out with, you know, the training schedule and things like that. It's been a strange season just because there has been games back to back, and maybe that will play a difference because they haven't had a couple of games for the last couple of weeks, so that could play. But I mean, I think the way Brentford do stuff, they're very methodical in how they do stuff, and I think they will prepare, you know, for Luton and make sure they're ready for what Luton are going to bring. Because I think Luton will bring, you know, a real tough game for Brentford. It won't be a walkover, that's for sure. It won't be an easy game. And
do you know much about Luton? Obviously, you scored against them when we were relegated and you won the league that final game. Little header at the back post, I think we said, weren't it? But it was a beautiful header at the back post, wasn't it? You played at Kenilworth Road a few times as well, haven't you? I have. I've been sent off there also. Yep.
Really?
What was that for?
2 yellow cards. I think it was, I can't remember if it was Luke Berry or Cameron McGeehan that got me sent off, but yeah, I got sent off there.
Hang on a minute. Can we just correct you there? Cameron McGeehan got you sent off, or did you foul someone to be sent off? Let's be honest. Come on.
Well, I stood my ground and he ran into me. So whichever way you thought that went.
Well, we were probably absolutely shouting for you to be sent off at that point. If I'm 100%. Honest.
Now you've mentioned it, I recognise your voice. It's always good fun at Kenilworth Road, though. I mean, the atmosphere is always great. The fans, there's no fans in it this time, but the fans, when they're there, it does make the place electric. I've played there for Millwall as well, which is always a feisty one. Oh. So, you know, it's a fantastic and a very iconic ground as well, I would say. One of the, the old school grounds and stuff with a lot of history. It is a great place to play football. And a big game Wednesday night then, big game for both clubs. Should we ask you for a score prediction, Karleigh? What do you reckon? Do you think Brentford are going to be too strong for Luton on Wednesday?
Be careful.
You know what? It's going to be a close game. I do feel it's going to be a close game, but I think Brentford might nick it 2-1.
Well,
perfect.
Do you know what I would say? Because
not perfect.
Well, it's not perfect. Well, well, let's not talk about that. For me personally, what I would say is that we didn't expect to beat Bournemouth, and we were lucky, and we played well against Bournemouth, and we took a result. When you look at Brentford's squad and you look at where they played last season, and you know, and how they're progressing, you think, well, we've got a small chance, but not a big one. But you know, there's always that time when you had that opportunity. We score a goal, maybe we can see it out. So I'm going to go for a 1-0 for us because I know where Luke works, but I genuinely think we might have a small chance. Small chance.
Well, I'll tell you what, if Luton do get the result, Karleigh and my other colleagues at work are never going to hear the end of it. So it's going to... I know. Never going to hear the end of it. We'll be filming Thursday as well. Yeah, Thursday morning, we won't hear the end of it. Luke will be in the call nice and early as well. Mate, I'll be sat there in my Luton kit, ready for you to join.
It works both ways, Karleigh. Just remember that it works both ways in them meetings.
I get enough stick off Karleigh Osborne. I get enough stick off this guy.
I'm the nicest to you.
You are kind of. It's just when my hair goes a bit like lockdown haircut. That's when you're jumping on me.
Yeah, to be fair though, you can get on me because mine's all over the gaff at the moment. Yeah. You can barely see my face. My beard's all over it. My hair is terrible.
No, that is a terrible trim, mate.
At least you can grow a beard. I can't even do. Look at that. It's a state, mate. Look at that. Awful. Yes, man.
Amazing.
I've got some hair if you want it, mate. Don't worry, I've got some spare hair for you.
I've got plenty of this, mate. Don't worry about that.
Oh, there it is. There you go.
Look, it's all bunched up, man. I'm not bald. Don't worry about
Luton's own Andy Carroll. Brilliant.
Yeah, mate.
Yeah.
Karleigh, thank you so much for joining us. Enjoy the game Wednesday, and we should catch up soon.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you for having me on. It's been really good. I've enjoyed it.